We are live. It's Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, and Big Ev, as always, for the Spin and Backfist MMA show, May 17th, Friday, May 17th edition, as Bellator Champion Series Paris is happening now. Obviously, we've got the card tomorrow, UFC card, Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. And we are here presented by New Amsterdam. We love New Amsterdam Vodka. This episode is brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka, the official vodka of Barstool Sports, the official vodka of the UFC, and, in our opinion, the official vodka of winning. That's right, winning. Yeah, we got a champion vodka over here. You match this vodka up against any other vodka out there, and oh boy, it's a TKO. Whether you're catching the pay-per-view fight at your favorite bar or hanging at home listening to us talk about it, celebrate your wins with insanely smooth New Amsterdam vodka. Find your wins with New Amsterdam vodka. New Amsterdam's the best in the biz. We talk about them every week. They are the best sponsor because they are the best vodka, obviously. For the UFC, for us, we all know it. Pink Whitney, their normal product, anything they got. Give us the fireworks, Ev. You got the fireworks?
There we go.
There they are.
It worked the first time. I was bugging
out. Shout out New Amsterdam. We also could recap this past weekend's fights. We didn't have, obviously, it's been like a week since them. I know that, but it's been a week without Spin and Backfist MMA show. So, any big thoughts from that? Obviously, Derek Lewis, Joaquin Buckley. Got a big moment and then ruined it with a Conor McGregor call out, and he's just been getting dummied by DC all week. What are the big talking points from that you want to touch on?
Low key, Joaquin Buckley may have just big brained it, knowing everyone would have been like, that's the worst call out of all time. And now everyone's talking about him. And in the famous words of DC, shut up, pussy.
Dude, that was one of the greatest tweets I've ever read in my life. Shut up, pussy. It's starting like that.
It's such a great look into the UFC as a whole, MMA as a whole, that it's so close. It's great that the TKO group's combining WWE and UFC, not combining them, but under the same umbrella. It's so wrestling or professional wrestling that you see these guys who are the announcers. Like, imagine Troy Aikman said that about like not Joe Burrow, but like a up-and-coming rookie quarterback after his like first few games.
He said about like Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson. He was like, "Shut up, pussy!" Like on Twitter. Like it's just so. It's such
Let's
a great.
read the tweet for those that didn't see it.
And everyone was just like, "Oh, that's hilarious. That's just DC being DC." And Joaquin Buckley took it in stride too, which is awesome.
He did. He took it well. The whole thing spawned from, obviously, Buckley calls out McGregor. Everyone rolls their eyes and they're like, what a waste of a call out. You had a big moment there. You could have called out a realistic name and the crowd would have been behind you. But you call out McGregor and everyone's like, whatever. Daniel Cormier said as much with Bisping and Chael Sonnen. So Joaquin Buckley said, let this be known. Your mama's raised some hoes. Y'all really trying to twist my words, knowing damn well what I said in the cage, but it's okay. We can all have some fun. And Daniel Cormier just comes over the top with, shut up, pussy. Maybe listen. You had a dumbass call out. You're getting talked about by three of the biggest voices in the game. Maybe listen. It was the worst call out in history. Don't let winning a few fights at 170 pounds get you too excited, bruh. Don't mention Audrey, who is, of course, Daniel Cormier's mom. Him saying your mom has raised some hoes. Cormier gave him in my blog, I said it was the verbal version of what he gave Jake Paul, like in person, where he went up to him and it was like, you don't play with my name. Like, Daniel Cormier is a two-time world champ. I will snap back into that mode if I have to.
I mean, I appreciate the angle from Jack Mack. That hadn't occurred to me, like a call out so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
But sometimes it goes like that. And I think it would, listen, if he had just called out like Gilbert Burns, like he kind of did after the fact, if he'd done that in the cage, we wouldn't have mentioned it just now.
Totally.
Or we would have mentioned it like in passing. We'd be like, oh, like,
yeah,
Buckley, like, good win. Maybe he gets a Duranio fight, maybe not. On to the next one.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's big brain move by Buckley. And like Jack said, he has been taking the trashing pretty well on Twitter. Like, he's joking with people going back and forth, whatever.
Speaking of call outs,
yeah,
I think the second most called out guy in the UFC, Paddy the Baddy. He got his fight with Bobby Green. we do know, or I think we have known a little bit about that from behind the scenes. Seemed like it was very possible. It wasn't even like, oh my God, but it's great to see. And also, we probably knew he was on the Manchester card.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
wait to see.
no-brainer.
He
Him and
opened.
Molly together. That's awesome.
He opened as a little bit of underdog. I think the line's a little bit wide, but that was an opening line. We'll see where it settles at. And then obviously Bilal gets his main event, co-main, and we have an is it the first time ever a guy has defended the interim belt?
I feel like
Did
it
it,
might have happened in recent years, but I don't know.
Tony did but didn't. Like he won the interim belt and then never lost a fight and then fought for it again against Gaethje. Like in the same, I don't think he technically retained it, but he did win it and didn't lose and then fought for it again.
What I'm seeing on Reddit is that Henan Barrow did it a couple times when he was the interim champ and Cruz was out.
Okay, so it's not common. We know that. And
Jerry in the Rumble chat says this is the fourth time an interim has been defended, so very rare in the UFC.
And then also we saw, and then John Jones is talking that we won't see him again until New York City.
John Jones is running from Tom Aspinall. You see his comments about that fight where he's immediately picking Blaze, and he's like, Tom Aspinall's like he's basically not smelling his own fart, or he is smelling his own farts or whatever. Like he's ducking Tom Aspinall. We all know who the real champ is, as Ev would say. It's Aspinall.
He's doing this, a lot of this. Duck. And everyone's ducking Aspinall. Aspinall, I know Aspinall had mentioned they booked this fight a little bit ago. He was wearing the Barstool hoodie when he said it. But I think they wanted Gon. I think Gon would have I think Gon said no. And just was like, I'll fight, do the Paris thing.
I could see that because that's it's a fight that makes a lot more sense. It is kind of weird that the co-main event and main event are both fights that ended prematurely due to it wasn't it was an eye poke and a leg injury.
Aspinall said that Gon said no because he's filming a movie right now. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, man. Cyril Gane is in a movie. I would assume it's a French movie. And then, he'll have to fight Sergey in France, which, best of luck to you, bro. That's a great fight. And maybe, to be honest, maybe the UFC was like, hey, we'll give Blades to Aspinall for this interim. You go fight Sergey in France. Great main event, let's be real. That's a really good main event.
Yeah.
Also, and also this as just an Aspinall guy, I think he wins the fight. I think this is one of the toughest matchups they can give him at the top, just based on Blades' style. I think there's I'll bring up a Cyril Gane. I think there's just such a massive grappling advantage.
Yeah,
and all that.
As long as Blades fights smart. The last time we saw him, it was weird.
Yeah, and even then, he still was able to pull it out. If he does that, if Aspinall's able to get on top of him, I think it's a totally different story.
Yeah,
I think the ground and pound will just be vicious. And I think really, if it stays on the feet, I think Aspinall's way faster. I think his hands are faster. Mm-hmm. I definitely think he hits harder as well. So I think he clears him either way. But Blades definitely will give some. I think he will give some restraint, but also Aspinall has the one hitter quitter in him too. But Blades he's pretty well rounded. So I think and he's a big guy. He's not small by any means. So it will be a test. But I think Aspinall wins. This is a great card for me.
It is a really good card, top to bottom. Yeah,
I have to run the Aspinall Blades, the Big F parlay.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fight for Patty too. I know a lot of people are doubting him, but I honestly don't think it's a horrible matchup for him at all. Bobby Green he looked very good in the Jim Miller fight, I guess, at UFC 300, but in a lot of fights before that, he's gotten clipped. I thought Tony Ferguson, I have mentioned, looked good in the first round against him. I don't think that's a crazy hill to climb for Patty, and it's a chance to break into the rankings. Bobby Green's 15. It'd be nice for Patty to get there, and then who knows? Moicano and him have been chirping back and forth too. Moicano's 10. If Moicano gets a fight in the meantime, higher ranked than him, I don't know. That could be a path for Patty.
Yeah, I think it opened over at a competitor at minus like 240/210. Now on DraftKings, it's Bobby Green minus 190, Patty plus 160. I would have put it like Bobby Green minus 150, Patty plus 135. So right now it seems like a pretty good bet. I think Patty could definitely win that fight, and I hope he does and continues to prove a lot of people wrong. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a great card.
Molly, I don't know if that's officially announced, but everyone's saying on Twitter that Molly and Bruna Brazil are fighting. If that's confirmed, that's a great matchup for her as well.
And then it's just very funny that like Bilal, the snoozer, even though I'm kind of a Bilal defender at this point, the snoozer is going to be fighting at like 5:30 in the morning. Like people are just going to fall in England, in Manchester, just going to fall asleep.
That is crazy that they're doing that. I still can't believe that. Like, why not just do an afternoon? I don't know. I guess they don't perform well, as we talked about, but it's just strange. They're going to be wrapping up at 6 a.m. You can go get pancakes after the card. So I guess that's how they've done it in Australia.
And I selfishly like the day cards.
I like them too.
Like I love getting at like 11, like a 12 p.m. prelim. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'll selfishly be like, damn, I wish these fights were earlier in the day. So I have to stay up till like 1 a.m. and watch them.
Is there any part of you guys that thinks Bilal leaves with the title?
I don't.
I
think he can. Listen, I think he can. It's not that he can't.
Like, would you be shocked if he won? I think I'd be shocked.
I'd be pretty surprised. I'd be pretty shocked. For me is like my,
especially how the first fight was going. Like Leon was doing really well in the first fight.
I think if it stays on the feet, Leon will do very well. And I think he's just way faster. And I think he's just more dynamic striking. The reason I feel so confident in Leon is because I don't think Bilal is going to be able to just like have the wrestling success that he's had against some other guys.
Yeah.
Leon was able to defend it pretty well. He did obviously have a tough time with it in the Usman fight, the one where he obviously
the first fight,
knocked out. But even in that fight, like he was able to take Usman down the first round. And I don't think Usman. I think that Usman on that day is probably better than Bilal is like now. That's my opinion. I guess we'll find out. But I just think again, like Leon has him pretty covered.
Jack, you said you feel like you could see that happening.
I could. I mean, Bilal's improved every time we've seen him. I would say every time he's fought in the UFC, he's taken a step forward. Leon is, a class above him, but I kind of look at this fight as could Bilal find a way to steal 3 rounds? Definitely. Do I think he'll finish Leon? No, which then goes to show, okay, who's better in a striking match? And then obviously Bilal could get some wrestling going, but Leon's not that bad as defensive wrestling. So it's like, I think the line's pretty accurate right now over at DraftKings. It's minus 270 Leon. I think that's a little wide, but I think it's fair considering, this is a defending champ. He's defended the belt 2 times now, and it's on his home soil. Very funny that Dana just doesn't tell fighters. He's just like, oh, we finalized it. I'm going to go on video. And then like they're like, "Yo, Bilal, you're fighting." You're like, "You're fucking with me." He's like, "No."
He's like, "Oh, like sweet, I guess."
Yeah, sweet, I guess. But I guess like I also would assume for Bilal, he's known for a little bit that this fight was.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, when you start getting in talks like that, I think they all start locking down and getting their camp settled and everything. MPI, shout out MPI and the Rumble chats is Doumbé fighting now. We actually interviewed Cedric Doumbé. So if you go on our Rumble page, exclusive to Rumble, the Spin and Backfist page on Rumble, check out our interviews with Patchy Mix and Cedric Doumbé. Congratulations to Patchy Mix, by the way. Got engaged to Tatiana Suarez, I think, a day or 2 ago in Paris, or maybe this week. I don't know. I just saw the picture today.
Yeah,
good interviews, though. Good guys.
I think he got engaged like last night. So that's pretty cool.
That's double nerves flying to Paris. You're like thinking about a fight and also thinking about making sure you get that moment right. Oh my God, he's got nerves of steel. Also, Tyson Fury takes on Usyk this weekend. A lot of people are very excited about it. A lot of boxing guys very excited for it. Billy Football turned to me and he was like, "Are you so stoked for the fight this weekend?" And I was like, to be completely honest with you, like, no, like I'm not. I don't get like so stoked for a fight like that. I said I'm excited. I'll watch it, but I'm not like I cannot wait. I need to see these guys in the ring. And Billy was like, "I think it's the biggest fight since Mayweather Pacquiao." He's like, "This thing is massive." He's like, greatest heavyweights.
He said it's
which for boxing people, for some of them it may be. For me, like I'm not as invested in this one as I was the Wilder fight. Say
he said this fight on Audio Crack, which is his new podcast. Go subscribe.
Shout out Audio Crack,
I was on it. I mean, I love Billy, but he said this is the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing history, which is a hell of a claim because obviously, I mean, you could just name heavyweight boxers for a very long time. I mean, Muhammad Ali fights Mike Tyson.
There's a couple Ali fights you could mention there.
Some might say fights that maybe a guy named Mike Tyson was involved in were bigger. Yeah. Maybe basically any of them.
It doesn't feel like the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. But I know skill-wise, you could argue that it is.
This fight,
I could argue.
It's a really big fight. It's not like just when you're throwing around the biggest fight, biggest heavyweight fight. Yeah, respectfully, it's just not. It's
the
just
world needs to be talking about it.
Saying that, as an American, a proud American, about two that like guys that aren't like. I mean, one guy that wasn't allowed in America until recent. I like Fury. I mean, I like the biggest fight would be that. I mean, I would say Fury against Joshua would be bigger. But I'm excited for this fight. I think Usyk finds a way to win, but I'm not that confident. I don't know boxing that well. I do watch a lot. It's awesome. I've watched a lot recently, and so I'm excited to watch it. But I'll be on Usyk. I don't have it's not a strong read, but if I feel like he finds a way to get it done, but Fury does look like he's in good shape. There was that video where he was kind of breathing a little bit heavy after an open workout, which was a little concerning, but he always his cardio is undefeated. But Usyk's in really good shape. He's the heaviest he's ever been. He looks strong on the scale. I mean, he's a killer. And
he's got those eyes, those crazy eyes that were looking through Tyson Fury at the face-off where Tyson's looking ahead and he's looking at Tyson.
One of the greatest.
Those eyes are nuts.
In my opinion, if you want to say one of the best stare-offs in a little bit, I'll give Billy that.
It was a good one,
It's more funny than anything, but I'm excited to watch it. It's a big-time fight.
I mean, John Fury headbutting a member of Usyk's team, that looked like fucking me. Like he was like skinny little twerp chanting Usyk's name in his face. He gets headbutted. He just took it and he just stared at John Fury with these crazy eyes back. It's been a good build. I'm excited about that.
The Furies know how to sell a fight. That they do for sure. Yeah. And I'll be excited to watch it. I do think I'll pick Usyk to win as well. I think he's just a better, I think he just points him. I think it goes to decision. He just points him to death. I think he's just faster. I think he's able to stay away from the big shot. So yeah, I like Usyk. I think that's the thing. I think I think a lot of boxing purists would say Usyk is a better boxer than Wilder and a better boxer than a lot of these other guys that even Fury's fought. He just doesn't have that name value. And maybe a big win like this, maybe he is able to knock out Tyson Fury. If he does something like that, his stardom will raise drastically. But I would agree with Jack Mike. Even if you think that Joshua isn't a better boxer than Usyk, Joshua and Fury would probably be a bigger fight in terms of name value and all that.
I think
just from I mean, it's not always the best boxer. From a purist standpoint, this is awesome. One of the best ever. But I mean, still, it's just even I would say there was more hype for the Garcia fight. And that was because Garcia is the greatest promoter in the history of mixed martial or not mixed martial arts, just combat sports. I mean, he's the GOAT.
He was good. Did you see he was kind of going at Josh Richards, or maybe not going at him, but he messaged Josh Richards' girlfriend or something? I saw a BFF's clip about it.
Yeah, he messaged Josh he does. He says he's Mr. Steal Your Girl. Obviously, he's a really good looking guy, but he was saying hey, I hit it first, but he just showed a screenshot of a message he sent his Josh Richards' girlfriend from like 3 years ago before they were even
She said
dating.
hey too, right? It just said
Yeah,
hey.
oh yeah, she said hey, and it was like from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond, but I guess he responded, "Baby, hi, like I miss you." So like they've never met, but like that's some free game from Ryan Garcia. You know, take some
There you
notes.
go. Yeah, those are the notes to take. Before we get into this weekend's UFC card, let's tell everyone about another one of our favorite sponsors. That is DraftKings. Sound the trumpets. It's horse racing time. So saddle up for action with DK Horse, an official DraftKings affiliate. Right now, new customers who download the DK Horse app can get a 100% deposit bonus up to $250. Just deposit $25 or more and complete the playthrough requirement. Wager on your favorite horses and then watch the races live right in the app. Download the DK Horse app now. New customers can get a 100% deposit bonus up to $250 when they opt in with code Backfist. Only on the DK Horse app, new customers get a 100% deposit bonus, again, up to $250 when they opt in with code Backfist. And I believe you want to do, the code Backfist. Is there an exclamation after it? No, just Backfist. Only on the DK Horse app. Actually, the first time I ever went to a horse track was here at the Meadowlands, right, close to Giant Stadium. They do a day every year called Hambletonian, where kids are allowed to come and they do carnival games and stuff like that. And I met George Foreman, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time that day. He was selling grills, meeting kids, shaking hands, kissing babies. And my mom was like, "Oh, walk up to him." I just knew him as the grill guy, but I shook his hand, that catcher's mitt. Yeah, legend. Big George Foreman.
Yeah, and obviously the Preakness Stakes are tomorrow. So you can go over, use the DK Horse app. I used it for the Kentucky Derby. And then obviously Belmont. And there's so many. I mean, it's endless. There's horse action all the time. And then obviously make sure to use DraftKings for all your MMA needs. UFC this weekend, next week, or not next weekend, but the weekend after.
Odds are out on Manchester, the Patty the Batty thing.
Fury Usyk's up there. I mean, it's the best in the biz, obviously. And shout out DraftKings.
Shout out DraftKings. All right, this weekend's card. Let me pull it up here. It's another Apex card. Goes down at 7 p.m. Main card, 4 p.m. prelims. And let's see. Okay, we kick it off with Vanessa Demopoulos versus Emily Ducote.
What a matchup!
Pull up the odds now. Yeah, what
can't
a matchup.
Wait for this fight. No, I mean,
Ducote's minus 380. Yeah,
I it's a little it's a little wide for me. I mean, it's just like if I had to pick something in this, I'd probably have to bet Vanessa Demopoulos or maybe Ducote by KO. That's 6-1, maybe, but I don't really have a huge read here.
Yeah, I mean, no play. I guess dog or pass.
Yeah,
just out of pure principle. Just out of principle. I mean, laying minus 380 with Ducote sounds.
I may have to go back and do like a little research project and look at these huge favorites that are in women's MMA and just see how often they cash, because I feel like if it's above plus 250, you just like blindly take the underdog. It doesn't even matter. It could be anybody. Like it could be anybody. You
MPI put it well. That this is truly one of the fights of all time.
Yep.
But I mean, I just like Demopoulos, she gets hit, so you never know. So I guess
there's a lot of heavy favorites on this card, to be honest. Not like tons, but a decent amount where the fight's it's hard to even make a bet on it.
I do like some props later. This is I don't think I'm going to be heavy on this one. Just go into Memorial Day weekend, slide in, and then we're back on June 1st. But
all right, and then we've got Alatang versus Clayton Rodriguez. Clayton, slight favorite, minus 148. Alatang, plus 124 in the bantamweight division. Clayton, when was the last time? Who did we see Clayton fight last time?
Well, Clayton is one of the guys who knocked out Shannon Ross. Then he missed weight a bunch, and then I think he fought Tyra recently.
He was supposed to, and that fight was canceled, I think, because he missed weight.
So his last fight was Shannon Ross?
No. He fought Basharat after that, and he lost to an arm triangle in the first round.
Yeah, Clayton kind of stinks, but like I don't trust Alatane. Lee's all over this. Lee loves Alatane.
I was gonna say, like, if you want a dog, like, I would probably take Alatang.
He's who I'm picking to win. I think I might play him. I just think his striking's better. I mean, he's more experienced, like better. He's fought better competition, more experience, probably a little harder, like bigger puncher. So I would take the shot at him plus money. It's more. I just don't think Rodriguez is like. I don't think he's really done much to show that he's like some like great fight. I know he lost to like Vergara. I'm pretty sure. He like he just Basharat's like pretty good. Like I don't think that's like a bad loss or anything, but got finished pretty quick. I would take Alatang plus. What is he plus 124? Like yeah. I would bet him at those odds.
Then you've got Piera Rodriguez versus Ariane Carnelossi. Another one with odds where I don't know if I like Rodriguez minus 218, Carnelossi plus 180. Like, is there a play there? You guys like plus 180?
Piera Rodriguez, she opened a little bit closer. The line was a little bit closer. It's kind of got blown out. I mean, Piera should win. Ariana.
But like, would you?
I'm not touching it. I'm not really that impressed with Piera Rodriguez. And then Carnelossi, whatever. I mean, she goes for it. She throws hard. But if Piera Rodriguez avoids those, I mean, she should just roll. What is it by decision? Like plus 100? Like, is there even a point? By decision plus 100. Nice. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have anything here.
Yeah, I would like maybe parlay piece. I think she like Carnelossi just such a bad like defensive wrestler that I think that like maybe that could be where like she has problems, but it's another one like even minus 220 and the line's gotten like scorched. So like maybe if you had gotten in like earlier, like I wouldn't fault anyone if they'd done that. I just think we just talked about it. I just think it's a big number to pay on like relatively low level women's MMA at the UFC level. But I think potentially like parlay piece if you want like action. I don't think that's like the craziest thing in the world. If there's something else you love on the card, throw with it.
Then we've got the return of Abu Smagomedov. Haven't seen him in a while. I think it's like back to the MSG card, maybe.
I think
on the MSG card.
Has he not fought since Strickland?
No, he fought Cal Barallo.
Oh, that's MSG. Right.
Is that right? And he lost that fight. So I think he's 0-2 in his last two.
Yeah.
Am I right about this?
Yep. It was the fight night card before.
Oh, no. It wasn't MSG. It was near MSG, though. Almost, yeah. It was November 4th, fight night card before MSG.
Cow beat him by decision. I think they're kind of
he's taking on Morley Alves in this fight. Yeah.
Because they're like
minus 270 favorite, though, is like who said it in the chat? Chatbot Jerry said he's the gas out king. Do you see minus 270? It like I wouldn't bet a money line at that. Certainly not.
I actually don't hate Abus plus 140 round one. Because I really feel like if he does it, like there's a good chance that's how he does it. I mean, we saw even with Strickland, he did great in that first round. I think that's kind of his MO. He's got like 5 really good minutes in him. And Alves is older. We've seen him get finished a few times recently. Yeah, I think like if you want a boost, like I wouldn't lay the money line, or I wouldn't even parlay the money line. I would first to me it's like round one, or like I just wouldn't play him.
The only thing I would say about Abus is, like, I mean, we did see him go to round like 15 minutes in his last fight. It's possible that he's a little bit better, or his gas tank's a little bit better. That being said, or also, I mean, if you look at the Strickland fight when he gassed out, that was on short notice. Not really short notice, was kind of thrown together at the last moment. But yeah, minus 270 is wide. I kind of like Ev's. Ev's look at it. I mean, what is he? And I mean, Abus really goes for it. Maybe Abus plus 450 by sub. I mean, he's got long arms. But Wally Alves, has he ever been? I was just looking at his. Where is it? I am on his. I mean, are they hiding this from? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I mean, Worley's only lost by sub once, and it was against Randy Brown, though, who is similar, long arms. I don't know if that was like a ground and pound into the sub or whatnot, but maybe Abus finds, like, Worley shoots and he kind of gets in on the neck or something.
The next fight on the card is an interesting one. Two debuters, I believe. Omar C versus Tuco Tacos. Tuco Tacos is a very fun name to say. He was in Bellator. He went 0-2 in Bellator, and then he went on road to the UFC. He lost there. He got knocked out in the first round, but he's had a couple wins since. He had a win in Fury FC. And C is from KSW, I believe. And I believe he's French. C is minus 500 in this fight. Haven't seen either of these guys fight before. You would just have to imagine C's a badass.
Yeah, I was like, he almost missed weight. He came in a pound and a half over, and then somehow made weight in the second attempt. I feel like we barely see that, where a guy comes in like a full pound and a half over, and then actually makes it.
He's not related to Sadabusi, is he?
I don't know. I don't think so, because Sadabusi.
I don't think so, because he's French. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Tuco is one of those guys. I feel like I've just heard his name so much just because he trains out of one of those big gyms. I want to say in Florida, either Killcliff or ATT. I think he trains out of one of those. I feel like he's one of those dudes I always see like in a picture with the guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's always like in the picture with like another like big UFC fighter.
Yeah, you're right. Killcliff.
I knew he was one of them, one of the big Florida ones. Like I feel like I've just seen him everywhere. So I almost feel like part of it, that's how he's getting an opportunity like this off like losing kind of a lot of fights recently. I wouldn't bet the fight. I would think C wins, but
such an unknown. Yeah,
I'm not going to.
Umar is definitely a prospect, or at least they're hoping so. I believe he's pretty big on Instagram. I could be wrong though. I was just going to go to his Instagram really quick. He's fighting out of France, as you noted. Oh, never mind. He only has 21,000 followers. Compared to, Cedric Doumbé had I think close to 1 million. But there is some respect for him. He was like KSW's coming in. I don't think people think he's that good. Tukos is getting this on short notice. He was supposed to fight somebody else. Tricoli, what's his name? Antonio Tricoli. I think they're trying to set him up for a win here and then probably put him on his way to France for the second or back in September. And then we'll see how good he really is. I'm not going to bet it. I think Tukos is a little bit of a grappler himself, but we'll see. Yeah, there's no props out for this yet. So,
and then I mean the next two fights are pretty heavy odds as well. Melissa Gatto versus Tamiris Vidal. Vidal plus 270, Gatto minus 340. Both women coming off split decision losses. Another one, do you have any play here? Would you play anything here? A prop, anything?
I would look at Gatto late, round 2, round 3, 5-1 plus 750. I think it's like she could find a finish, and I think it'll be kind of not a one-shot hitter quitter kind of thing. Something a little bit more. The damage adds up. I think Gatto has her kind of covered everywhere here. Like I really think she's a decent parlay piece too. I think she's just so much better than Vidal. Vidal stinks. Like she's bad.
She's interesting. Tapology has her ranked the 22 bantamweight in the world, worldwide. Vidal and Melissa Gatto. Oh, I guess it's different weight classes. I was gonna say is ranked the 27th flyweight in the world, and I feel like Gatto is clearly much better than her. So.
Yeah, I agree with Jack Max plays. Also, Cedric Doumbé just got the first round TKO.
Real quick, wow! How quickly into the first round?
Like 3.5, like little over, like 3.5 minutes, little over. I don't know if anyone caught that. I had a quick for a second. I thought Doumbé got dropped. I think he slipped. It was more I was like watching, then I looked up for like a second, and he like his butt hit the mat, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? But I think he's kind of slipped. And then he pulled the old what do they call it, the bulls and the fucking the
matador?
Pulled the old matador, and he like stepped out of the way, and Jaleel Willis went like flying past him and fell on his face without even.
What's his name? Oh, what's his name? Did that on UFC last weekend? Someone did that in the heavyweight fight. Guy just stepped out of the way. Oh, it was in the fucking main event. It was in the main event. Nascimento. Was it not?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Wait,
Waldo?
I thought Waldo. I was going to say, I was in Despania.
Maybe it was Waldo. Yeah. Congrats to Cedric. Go watch our interview with Cedric.
He landed a big shot, and then it was kind of just like beginning of the end, and just kind of just a fury of punches. Stopped it standing against the cage.
Then we've got Tom Nolan, the big train, making his return to face Victor Martinez. Tom Nolan minus 470. These odds on this card, they're nuts. It's like boxing odds. A lot of them.
Yeah, this is one of those I just like. Does he win? I mean, probably.
He's 0-1 in the UFC. It's like we barely know anything about him.
I just feel like laying that price
on a guy who got knocked out like a minute into his first UFC fight.
Yeah, I just don't like. I almost think I would take a shot at Martinez at this price here, at plus 360. Like Tom Nolan, I remember his Contender Series fight. Well, he did have a crazy knockout. Like he landed one of the more vicious, like one hitter ground and pound shots I've ever seen. He like dropped the first, but landed like a nuclear bomb. I believe it was a right hand, and just like sent him in through the orbit. But I just think this is a crazy price for him. Like he just. Like he said, he just got knocked out bad by Nicholas Mata like early in the fight, who I don't think is very good.
Yeah,
I would take a shot at plus 360 against him.
Jack, anything here?
Yeah, I think Tom Nolan comes out a little like maybe. So I'm thinking about it from this perspective. I think Tom Nolan's leagues above Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez got knocked out by Jordan Levitt. I mean, come on. Like Jordan Levitt did the he
was that the slam knockout he did?
What?
Or no? Was that his slam knockout? What was that?
A real knockout, even worse.
It was a real knockout. And Jordan Levitt then teabagged him. I don't think you ever come back from that as a man.
Yeah.
Tom Nolan.
So fair.
He said after his last fight, he was 6-0, and he was like, hey, I came in too hot. I need to go out there and be a little bit more strategic. I think he's going to go out there, be a little trigger shy, and then he's going to start to get the punches going. I think he KOs them in round 2 or round 3. You get Tom Nolan KO round 2 plus 450, Tom Nolan KO rounds 3, 10-1.
I like that.
That's how I would attack this fight. I do think Tom Nolan gets finishes. And also Tom Nolan's, I mean, he hasn't won by submission. He did win by submission in his amateur career, but I mean, this guy's, he's going to knock you out if anything. So that's how I'm going to attack it. Hopefully he gets out of the first round.
You watch this show, the Spin and Backfist MMA show, for the analysis. Like a man can never come back from getting teabagged. That's why you watch the show over the experts.
Specifically by Jordan Levitt.
Yeah. That
You
also,
think
I
maybe somebody else.
Yeah, I just watched the
Jack Mack
TikTok.
talked to me like I was just on principle. I more was against Nolan because just the lack of experience and him being this big a favorite. But I think Jack Mack talked me into some late props. You can't get knocked out by Jordan Levitt on the feet.
Yeah, you can't.
And get teabagged and then come back and like be a hero your next fight. I mean, it just doesn't. Life just doesn't work that way.
And then also, I do think. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter. Like the Aussies, they do have a lot of guys, but like I mean, Taffa or not Taffa? What's his name? Just retired. Tyson Pedro. That
he might be back though. He retired and started boxing immediately.
Yeah. And then broke. Did you see that angle of his arm breaking?
Yeah, really gross.
Really gross. But so Tom Nolan's Australian. He was, people kind of had some big plans for him, and he was on. Oh no, he's on a fight night card, but I do think there's a chance that they are thinking, all right, get a finish here, then you'll fight in Perth, which is in August, right?
Sounds right. Yeah.
September. So, I mean, and that's a quick turnaround, but also it's like, hey, you were a big time prospect. Let's get you a win here against Victor Martinez. Then you'll fight again in Perth. And then we know you had a tough start, but they're setting up the guy that we were just talking about too. Umar,
the other French guy. Yeah. See.
So,
then on to the main card. Sorry to cut you off. Did you have more?
Nope. So that's why I'm like, that's how I'm kind of approaching it. And
also,
about it.
Just real quick, we have a Doumbé Anthony Pettis face off in the cage happening right now.
There you go.
I know they had already talked about that, but now it's confirmed. Like that fight seems like it's about to happen next.
For September is when he told us in the interview. He said that's when he wanted it. So I don't know if it's confirmed for September, but maybe. Then on to the main card for UFC Fight Night. Luana Pinheiro versus Angela Hill. Angela Hill is minus 148. Luana plus 124. I really like Angela Hill. I think she's a very entertaining fighter, very entertaining personality and all that. I think this is a great spot for her leading off like a Fight Night card. She's going to bring it every time. There's just something about her career where like I see she's the favorite in this fight and I'm like, all right, give me the underdog and she'll get it via split decision.
Yeah, and also I think that's a great philosophy, Robbie. Like if Angela Hill's a favorite, is it really worth taking? I think she
no disrespect, but yeah.
I also think like how Luana Pinheiro wins this fight is she has bigger moments than Angela Hill. Like she could knock her down, and then if you get knocked down in the first round, let's just say that happens and Angela comes on late, but then she has to steal round 2 and round 3. I'm not taking Luana, but I think I'm going to proceed with caution and just watch this. I also like Angela Hill. I mean, she's a good fighter. She's also, it seems like a decent person. Like I don't really know her personally, but she's
cool. A nerd, which I appreciate. Like she used to do like costumes and shit for her weigh-ins before she came to UFC. I think she even did a couple in the UFC, but they outlawed that quick.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Lon as well. I agree. I'm not like jacked up to lay action on this.
Oh, and then we've got Yanez versus Salvador. Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador. Where did they come up with this one? Is this someone canceled out on Yanez? Like, what was the matchmaking here?
No, it's crazy.
I think
very strange.
They're like
Yanez gonna kill him.
Yeah. I think so via KO. Like I just think he's just gonna knock him out.
Yeah, he lost 2 in a row. Or are they like, we'll give you one? Like, very strange.
That's Bob. That's exactly.
This guy's coming off 2 losses too.
That's it. I don't understand the matchmaking on this at all. Other than they are like we need Adrian Yanez is exciting when he fights guys who aren't good. Like we need him to win. I was Yanez guy, but I would say this, maybe he has like a resurgence. Like maybe he But I mean, my stock is down right now, big time.
Bro, Salvador,
tough one to have in the portfolio.
His last fight is UFC 291, a loss to CJ Vergara, where I think
125. At 125, yeah, I think he gets his head knocked off.
Yeah,
Vinicius Salvador.
Very bizarre match, man.
I'm about to say something very disrespectful. Okay.
Oh,
Vinicius Salvador took 10 minutes to knock out Shannon Ross, who had a bursted appendix in the fight. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I think Yanez is going to knock him out in the first round. Like he's just gonna do it. He's just gonna do it. Like it's just like this is. I mean, there's gonna be. That's my read. It's not a play yet. Maybe I'll make it official, but that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Yanez to win by RKO round 1 plus 225. I mean, I'd like a little bit bigger, but pause. But
no, I will say I will be playing him inside Yanez inside the distance. He's minus 125 by knockout and minus 135 inside the distance. I'll take the extra 10 cents. I'll inside the distance just in case he's feeling
this is just.
I think he smokes him. I think he knocks his head off.
I think the UFC is just using this as just a setup card. Like it's just like here's some guys that like we have some guys on some contracts that need to get their final fight, and then there's some guys that we kind of believe in. They've had a tough run, but like let's get them back on track. I think this is that.
And Yanez, you're absolutely right. And Yanez is exciting. He's a guy like you'd like to have stick around the UFC.
Yeah,
like I agree. He may never win a belt. Like I don't think he will. I don't like he may never even like fight a guy like he did, like a Rob Font, like guy that was like maybe like 6 at the time he fought him. He might even never get a fight that big again. But he's a guy that I think is good enough. Like he can beat a lot of guys in the UFC, and he's exciting. Like he has a lot of knockouts. He's always in like those kind of fire fights. You want a guy like that to stick around. He needs a dub. Here's Salvador.
Yeah,
maybe a bonus too. This is like a
true.
This is one of those
big first round knockout.
Mix of he has a good chance to get a bonus. I think he lands probably a highlight reel knockout. But the bonus of they also, I think, a lot of times take into consideration, you knocked out Vinicius Salvador. So there's a little. Yeah. Well, it depends how the rest of the night goes.
And also, there was somebody who didn't get a bonus last week that I felt so bad for.
Ribovics.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That was like one of the knockouts of the year. I mean, unfortunately, against Terrence McKinney, friend of the program, but insane knockout.
And I think the UFC knows this. Keep Terrence McKinney, unless like his health is deteriorating. Keep him around forever. Like I just like have him fight.
Yeah. He's one of the most. I put that in my blog. He'll have a job for life if he keeps fighting like this.
He is like not main event, but I mean like he's must watch TV. He just is.
It's like don't blink when Terrence McKinney's on screen. The fight will end at any moment, usually in the first round. It's crazy.
He seems like he's all right. He put out a video last night. He was like, thank God my nose is flat because it would have bursted.
Then we've got The Rock's favorite fighter, Themba Gorimbo versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Gorimbo minus 148, Brahimaj plus 124. I think Gorimbo is going to win the fight. I think you're on Brahimaj.
Brahimaj by submission.
Yeah.
I know you are. You guys down on Gorimbo? You guys don't like Gorimbo?
No, I like Gorimbo. He's awesome.
Like him.
This is not personal.
Personal at all.
This is business. This is business. Brahimaj is legit, like kind of good. Like his grappling is legit, like submission grappling, very legit. And I think Gorimbo has gotten like very like delicate matchmaking, like very like. What was his last win? He knocked out Pete Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Like Pete Rodriguez is not a UFC fighter. All due respect with a lot of disrespect. Just not.
P-Rod.
He's not a UFC fighter at all. Like not. I mean, his win in the UFC was over, I believe, Mike Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is. I'll be Brahimaj money line. Brahimaj sub. Even though it's not even that different, he's plus like 125 money line, plus 180 sub. I think his win equity is pretty strong with submission. But I'll take both ways, money line and
Brahimaj. Listen to this stat. Brahimaj. I hate whoever's doing that in the background.
I
I'm
know we
getting
keep
close to
hearing it.
yelling at
Someone's rolling a chair, an office chair through the hallway.
Brahimaj. I was about to give the greatest stat of all. Brahimaj has 10 wins in his MMA career, professional career. All 10 are by submission, and then 9 out of the 10 are first round submissions. I think you just go Brahimaj round 1 submission plus 380, Brahimaj round 2 submission plus 650, and then we take it to the bank. You know,
I think you swayed me there. Yeah,
this is Brahimaj's moment, and if you don't believe in Brahimaj, Garimbo by decision plus 275 isn't the worst thing in the world, I don't think.
If you smell what Garimbo is cooking, he should just adopt all of The Rock's things. He should just come out to The Rock's music, The Rock sunglasses, The Rock vest, do it all. Chaos Williams versus Carlston Harris. Chaos Williams minus 130, Harris plus 110. I actually looked back. I have a note written in my computer notes from May 6th, 2023, UFC 288, where Chaos Williams last fought. He actually won a split decision against Rolando Bedoya. I have a note, Chaos Williams sucks, never bet on him again. So out of principle, I don't think I could bet on him in this fight. I think I got to go with the underdog here.
He was a big favorite in that fight. Bedoya it was his debut on short notice, and he did fight him very close. It was at the last Newark. It was at the Newark card.
That's right. UFC. Yeah, that's right.
This is to me is a very tough fight to like handicap kind of. I think that's why the odds are close. Chaos has got the nuclear, the one hitter quitter. I think Carlston Harris is one of the more like maybe underrated fighters. I think he's like pretty damn good. I mean, I know he lost to Shavkat, which I don't think there's any like any shame in that at all.
Yeah.
He's choked out Jeremiah Wells. He's choked out a few guys.
Shavkat's the only guy he's lost to since 2018.
Yeah, like he's good, man. I just don't know. Like no one's ever really. I'm trying to think in my head more of like he's a very good, like has good grappling, good submissions. I mean, in that I think it was the Jeremiah Wells fight. It looked like he was about to get choked out, and then he ended up putting Jeremiah Wells to sleep. Like in that he's got some crazy submissions. I just don't know if. I feel like I can't recall like Chaos Williams really getting like taken down or have like anyone really attacking him in that way. But I almost feel like stylistically, like matchmaking wise, he hasn't really been tested like that. Yeah. So I'm very, very like I really think it's kind of a coin flip, which almost makes me want to go Harris, but I don't really feel a super opinion either way. I'm very excited to watch it because I think it's going to be kind of a crazy fight. I think Harris is very long too. Like I think he will trade some. I guess I'll pick it down. I don't feel
looking down Harris's Tapology. Little interesting fact for you: he fought and beat Michel Pereira in 2015. And shout out to Michel, who after he fought at UFC 300, flew down to Brazil for vacation and was in like I think a nice area of Brazil that was unaffected by the floods. But once the floods happened, historic floods, horrible floods, like hundreds of thousands of homes erased, he drove right down there, like 2,000 miles to get to the front lines. And he's been saving dogs, saving animals, saving people, bringing supplies and stuff. I followed him on Instagram because of this. And then he posted a video of dead dogs floating in the water. And I had to unfollow him pretty much instantly. But I do appreciate what Michel Pereira is doing down there. He set up like it's not a GoFundMe, but I think it's maybe a Brazilian equivalent of it, a crowdsourcing thing for the victims. So shout out Pereira. He's doing real life hero shit down there. Jack, do you have a play on the co-main here?
I was considering Chaos Williams, but I can't get there. I agree with Ev. I think Harris is a little bit underrated in a way, but Chaos just leaves a lot to be desired. And also, you leave some things up to the judges here in terms of at least Chaos Williams, in my opinion, because a lot of his win equity. I mean, I guess they're saying Chaos Williams to win by KO plus 130. I mean, that's just assuming a lot.
KO recently, but who did he knock out?
I mean,
Not
he
super
knocked
recently,
out Miguel
2021.
Baeza.
Yeah, in 2021. That's not, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I
He
guess
knocked out
I
Alex Morono a while ago.
He really came on the scene. He had the Al Hassan knockout. It was wild.
yeah,
That's
Al
right,
Hassan. Yeah,
He turned him into a statue. That was crazy.
so chaos. Yeah. I mean, I guess I may even get to Carlston here. To be completely honest, now that I'm thinking about it, but I guess we'll see. I don't know if I'll have a play here. I don't have one right now.
And then the main event for the evening, a legend, Edson Barboza takes on Lerone Murphy. Edson Barboza plus 124, Murphy minus 148. This is one of those fights where I could be completely wrong. Not to bring up old wounds, but when Edson Barboza fought Billy Q, that was another one where I was like, Billy Q, he's our fucking guy. He's going to go in there and beat a legend, Edson Barboza. And Barboza kind of reminded everyone who he is. I feel like we could see something similar in this fight, where he's just the crafty vet in a 5-round main event where he's going to go in and by the end of the fight be able to take over on the feet with Murphy. I could be wrong about that. I do think it's a pretty good fight. I think it's a pretty good main event for the card. I just love watching Edson Barboza fight. He's up there for me in terms of like all time, just people you enjoy watching fight.
I love Barboza here. I really do. I mean, he had a great comeback in the Sadiq fight. He won comeback of the year last year. I saw it on Instagram. They had the little video. They gave him the award. Yeah, I think he's got one more. And also, it's a mix of like I think he's the Wiley vet's got one more in him, maybe a couple more in him. I think Lerone Murphy is crazy overrated. I thought he got gifted the decision against Gabriel Santos on that fight. That was Usman, I believe Usman Leon 3. I just think Barboza is better striker. I think the cardio will have an advantage. He's obviously been in the spot way more. He's fought 5 rounds and just in like main events and big fights way more. I like Barboza a lot here. He might be either him or Brahmij, I would say, are my 2 like favorite plays of the card.
Yeah, I mean, he's underrated, not underrated, undefeated, Lerone Murphy, but like who's his best win?
I'm glad you brought
up. It's
Kulabau. They booked him against Ige. I was gonna like nuclear missile whale play Ige, and I'm like annoyed that fight didn't happen.
Lerone Murphy. I just want to bring up his topology really quickly.
Shout out Hot Billy tuning in from Applebee's, by the way. Happy hour.
Shout out Hot Billy.
He's got the AirPods in. Love it.
Lerone Murphy should have lost to, in my opinion. Well, I mean, just classic Makwan, but like in my opinion, like Makwan was like dominating him, and he just like Lerone found
not your opinion. He was.
Yeah.
He was, and then he just ate a massive knee to the mouth, but he was.
And then Gabriel Santos, I literally cannot believe they gave that to Lerone. And here I think Barboza wins, and then I also think he finishes him too. Like I think he finds a way. And I also think Barboza post USADA his biological age has gone down a little bit. I think he's a little bit younger. I think his muscles are building a little bit faster. And I think Barboza is a post USADA. I just think what happened with Sadiq was like very impressive. I mean, Sadiq Yusuf killed him, and he found a way to finish or to find that win and then continue the fight. I just think Barboza's he defies time, and I'm excited to bet him tomorrow night.
I actually want to say this too quick because he almost finished Sadiq at the end of that fight. I want to look up the number quick. I think even Barboza like late props could be in play here. Like let me see what even like round 4, round 5, round 4 is plus 1,800, round 5 2,500.
Yeah,
I might put a couple shekels, as they say, on those two. I mean,
let's do it.
I just don't like. I just think and I think Sadiq. I think Sadiq is more like powerful and explosive than Murphy is.
Yeah,
Lerone Lerone Murphy, I mean, maybe we'll just look like idiots and he'll clip it out and put it up on his Twitter or whatever. But like, I just like he just leaves so much to be desired. And so, yeah, I like Barbosa, and he's the guy who's going to fight for your money. Like, you just know it. And even bring up like that Billy Q wins really good. I know Billy Q, it's like not been spectacular, but that was peak Billy Q, at least in my opinion. And I thought Billy Q was going to win that fight. And obviously that knee was it was very impressive by Edson. It just shows Edson his ability. And so I think it's nothing to laugh at either. So I'm really excited to bet him tomorrow.
All right, and that is the card breakdown. There you have it. Make your bets on DraftKings, of course. Get your props in, all that. Enjoy the card with some New Amsterdam, and enjoy. Also, enjoy the rest of Bellator Champions Series if you're watching that as we're live right now. MPI in the chat said Patrick Mix. I'm getting pieced. If that's true,
I'm watching. I think Magomedov got that first round. He had a nice little flurry where he landed a few good big shots that MPI was referring to.
Interesting. All right, we'll talk to you next time on the Spin